episode 5. Happy Monday, podcast world. Ryan and Christina here for episode 6.
Yeah, we're back at you.
Today we're bringing it back to marriage.
Sace.
Don't. Not, first off, that's not going to happen every time.
Sace. Well, we get to 15, I might be done. I might be having to figure out French or something.
Start using sign language.
Yeah.
So sorry. Today we are talking about 5 powerful words for your marriage. And we think that these can be applied to any marriage, and they are applied to ours. Maybe not the way that they should be or as actively as they should be, but we're working on it.
Yeah. I like when we talk about marriage.
Do you think it's because we're married?
Yes.
Do you think it's because we're kind of talking to ourselves to get better?
I think it's a real look at what not to do sometimes.
Or what we should be doing better?
No, for sure.
We are always, well, not always, but we're usually talking from books that we love, which is List to Love by Mark and Susan Merrill. We'll link it up to the show notes. So check us out on nofiltershow.com. And
yeah, show notes will be in episode 6. Go in there and check them out. It will have all of our links, all of our show sponsors, reviews, and the cool thing about the show notes, if you look in there, it'll have certain points of what we say and what they are in the timeline. So it'll tell you cool little highlights, maybe at the 5-minute mark, 10-minute mark, and you can actually skip on the player on the either iTunes, Stitcher, or the website right to those spots.
it's also cool too, because I just noticed the other day, like if you want to tweet things, Ryan puts little tweets in there, so it makes it kind of user-friendly.
Tweetable terms.
Do you feel weird saying that that's an actual word we use?
What, tweet?
Like, oh, that's a tweetable term. Or like dadding, which you made up. That's not even a word.
Dadding?
And why you say it like that drives me nuts.
Why not?
Today I want to tell you about our sponsor. We love Coastal Edge. As you can see on Ryan's nifty new shirt, Coastal Edge is a local surf shop. There are, how many locations they have?
7.
7. I don't know why I thought it was more.
It is more in the summertime.
Oh, that's right, because the oceanfront.
Yeah, they have some seasonal stores along Atlantic Avenue in Virginia Beach.
If you are local to Virginia, you will know all about Coastal Edge. If you're not local, they are starting to grow their online presence, so you will be able to shop straight from their online stores. So once that gets up and running, we will definitely be talking more about them and helping you get some of the products that they are promoting.
You can check them out on Instagram, Facebook, and the website.
Yes, you can. So we will link all that up so you can't miss out. But check them out, give them some love, and see what they got in store.
Okay, so I've got a couple reviews that we're going to read.
I love it.
And I always love the reviews. If you give us a 5-star review on iTunes, we will read your review right here on live on the air. All right, so we got 5-star reviews to read. The first one that we are going to read to you is from Jessica Adams. And Jessica Adams,
gotta say?
Jessica says, love. Love, love, love. Can't wait to hear more. And she gave us a 5-star review. So thank you, Jessica, for that one. We really appreciate it. And their second one comes from LyssSter.
I would have said it the same way.
Okay. LyssSter. LyssSter. All right. They put simply the best. I followed Christina and Ryan on Instagram and Facebook for a while now. To finally get to listen to them interact together about life, parenting, marriage, and more makes me look forward to my Mondays. Episodes have been my favorite so far. I'm guessing that was probably episode...
I don't know.
All of them.
Cheers!
Yep. They had me laughing, crying, and all the in-between. Thank you for keeping it real.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you for that.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I want to say thank you for everybody that reached out from episode 5. The dust has started to settle after that craziness.
You know what's kind of cool, though, is it brought up some cool conversations. There was some amazing posts that came from that on Instagram that I was reading that blew my mind. Like, sometimes when we say things, it's just us speaking from our heart, but then seeing how you interpret it and how you relate it to your life is just as mind-blowing. And it's like blogs that I read that are stemmed off from it, or people just having these revelations about their own life that will never get old to me.
Yeah, and some of the messages that came through on the direct message, and I know in episode 5 we talked about, If you guys want to reach out to us, we'll be happy to talk to you. And some of the stuff that came through was heavy.
Yeah.
And we had some deep conversations with people, and I love it. I am thankful that you guys shared that much of your life with us, and we want more.
Can I also let you know that I really also appreciated that people reached out to let me know that I won the Laugh Out Loud challenge.
Oh, that is bullshit.
Thank you, Becca Derlin.
She absolutely lost.
You absolutely said absolutely.
You laugh, you lose.
You jacked up the tally marks.
Oh, God.
Anyways, let's begin with the first 3 of the 5 powerful words for your marriage. Shall we?
Yeah.
Do you want to start?
No, go ahead.
Ladies first. I know.
Yep.
So what I'm going to do is, I think the easiest way to do it is to read because there's the little sections, and then Ryan and I will have an open discussion. And like always, you can comment, message us, join the conversation. It's fun when you join. Okay, so the very first word for marriage are respectful words, and here's what the book has to say. This is the most important one. After years of being married, it's easy to become comfortable with one another. But sometimes that comfort can turn into a lack of respect when you no longer are careful with the words that come out of your mouth. Choosing to speak respectfully to your husband and about your husband means choosing words that will honor him, not undermine him. It also means choosing words that affirm his judgment and his abilities, like, I really respect the decision you made.
Do you remember when we went on one of our first dates?
I'm only laughing because
not that part of the
okay.
first date.
So many of our first dates, I'm like, wait, where are you going with this?
No, when you met my parents for the first time.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and actually I threw you into that situation.
Yeah, you did. I survived.
Yeah, she had to meet 2 families.
It was like 30 people at a Thanksgiving dinner. He's like, hey, you want to come meet my folks? I'm like, yeah, no pressure.
We do things a little different around here.
Yeah.
But do you remember meeting him for the first time?
I do.
Do you remember how you acted, how you talked, how you presented yourself?
I mean, I was nervous.
Yes, and like natural anybody would be, how did you act for the first time?
I would say that I put on my best, you don't put on it front, you put your best foot forward.
You were polite.
Very.
You were respectful. You were polite.
Kind.
You were engaging. You were kind, giving. You smiled. It's kind of like that same exact time when you meet somebody's parents for the first time, or you meet that girl for the first time, or guy. You're going to give your best foot forward. You're going to act right. You're going to talk right. You're going to say the right things, act the right way, smile the right way. When you get married, after the first year of marriage, that shouldn't stop.
Oh, that's good. Tweet that.
Hashtag stay respectful.
I thought you were going to say hashtag stay married.
Hashtag stay married. Going back to that one again. But you should always keep that same mentality and push forward and have that same drive. Don't get lazy. Don't get comfortable in just assuming someone's going to do something for you, or assuming that they know what you're thinking, that they should do this, do that. Well, you wouldn't have acted like that with their parents. You wouldn't have acted like that.
Or even to win them over. You wouldn't have talked to them like that.
Absolutely not.
I think, too, when it says respect your spouse, so when you first meet, obviously you respect them, you like them. You know, when marriage happens, people change. It doesn't mean it's for the worse, just people change. And you may not always like what your spouse is doing, or you might not like some of the things that have changed, but you will always respect them. That is your spouse. Sometimes it's the husband or the wife of your kids. And the way that you talk to them greatly impacts the way that they go about their day.
And you can't talk to your wife or your husband the way that you talk to your homeboys or homegirls.
Or the way you talk to your kids. I think that's a big one. Did you? I can't tell if he's agreeing with me or just nodding.
No, I agree with you, because if you're treating them like your children, then they're going to feel like a child.
And it's not that you don't respect your kids. I just think sometimes as mothers, we're in the same routine of talking a certain way that when we talk to our spouse like that, it almost comes off as a lack of respect.
Yeah, you don't want to be a condescending jerk.
No, definitely not. That can cause so many problems.
Yeah, and you're just as equal as she is. She's just as equal as you are, and you both need to take the relationship and the communication between each other just like that.
Well, it's just like where it says at the bottom, the author's example is, I really respect the decision you made. If you do something, you want to know that you are being respected for the choices that you make, especially from your spouse. So if Ryan was to come up to me and I did something with our bills, or I did a business decision, I want to hear that he respects what I chose to do, that I made a good move for our family.
I agree. All right, number 2.
Tell me about it.
Affirming words. We can tell you from experience that our need for affirmation doesn't disappear with age. We both still desire to be valued by one another. We desire that validation often. Cherish your wife by saying things like, you did a great job coaching our child on how to handle that issue. Or, I was so impressed by the leadership you showed at work today. Now, saying it just like that might not happen. But saying, hey, babe, you did a great job. The way you just handled that was great.
I think too, it makes, when you're a parent, or when you're married, or just together, everything that's going on around you can kind of cluster your mind. So affirming words kind of brings you back to the core of everything. I think when we talk about affirming words, I love that, Ryan and I had mentioned talking about in our next marriage segment, the 5 love languages. And I know that one of mine is words of affirmation. And it's for this reason specifically. When you're affirming me with your words, it is the one way that I feel valued the most. So when it's coming from my husband, the person that I love the most, there's nothing that's pouring into that love tank more than the words that he's saying to me.
Yeah, it's crucial. And I think that next episode that we do on marriage will be great, because you've got to speak the same love languages. If I'm talking, you don't have to speak it the same between you.
Understand them.
But I have to understand what your love language is, because if I'm speaking something different and I think that that's what your love language is and it's not, well, then we are way off.
Then you're trying to speak Spanish still. I'm over here speaking English.
Yeah, and look, you're a team. Whether you like it or not, you are a team. You got into this marriage as a team. You got into it together. Your vows said, you're one.
Yeah.
You are, in the way that God says it, you are one. You become one spiritually in the flesh.
I think too, with affirming, like, if you're having a really bad day at work, right? There's nothing better than getting a phone call from your husband and wife, and through all the chaos of what might be happening at your job, if your wife tells you, babe, you know what? It's okay. I know you're having a bad day, but I love you, and I'm so proud of everything that you're doing for this family, and I want you to just keep pushing forward. I bet you if I said that to Ryan, no matter how many deals fell through, or say like a home inspection went wrong, if I said that to him, I bet it could just flip your entire mood over. I could be wrong, but...
No, you're right. Sometimes you're the yin to my yang. If I want to tear somebody a new one, you pretty much know it and can see it. Or when I'm on the phone with you, I know that you're the person I call to kind of bring me back down. And you affirm me when I'm having those moments. And I'm like, okay, you're right. And that is what makes me appreciate it the most, because when I'm at my weakest, you are bringing me up. When you are at your weakest, I am bringing you up.
Well, that's how a good team works.
Yeah, and affirming means lifting somebody up. Affirm them. Make them feel good about what they've done, what they're doing, and what they will do.
I know this is probably going to, like, when you say things, you're like, oh, I hope this doesn't offend anybody. I think, too, that when the affirmations stop, sometimes that's where people feel a disconnect. So they will look for affirmations in other places. I don't know if that's like too harsh to say, but I think from experience watching a lot of couples who are distant from each other, it's because they're not affirming one another that they are good enough. Like,
yeah, if Johnny Sucky...
I swear to God, okay, first off, I know we're having a serious moment. I am going to make a list of the weird effing names that you create on this podcast.
Look, if Johnny Sucky,
jot that down, folks.
If Johnny Sucky talks to his wife like crap, okay, and she continuously is just getting ridiculed, getting belittled, getting disrespected, and John Sixpack,
wow.
with the abs. John
No,
Golden,
I got it, babe. Thanks.
Okay. Not beer. John Sixpack comes through and starts affirming her. Which way is she going to start to lean?
Yeah, that's good. Can I just say, he doesn't have to have a six-pack.
I got a keg, damn it. You're right. Screw the six-pack. I got more than that.
Stop.
Boom. Keg stands.
I don't even know how we just got over here.
Hey, why don't you just take us right to number 3?
Let's just go into caring words. So it says here, and I highlighted this statement because it means a lot. It says, it's easy to choose to dismiss your husband's need for attention. This goes for wives as well. There are so many things to focus on, particularly the kids, if you have them, or the never-ending household to-do list. But we encourage you to sit down, give your full attention to your husband when he needs it, speak caring words to him in a moment when he needs to know someone is on his side. Say things like, I'm so sorry to hear that, or tell me more about how you're feeling. These are caring words that will give life to your relationship. I cannot agree more.
So right now, and we just talked about this in episode 5. Go back and listen to it. If you have not heard it, it is all about being authentic and being real and not being fake in this internet world. And I noticed that a lot of people are checking Instagram, checking Twitter, checking Facebook, checking Pinterest, and they're doing that and checking their emails instead of sitting down face to face having a conversation with their significant other.
Now, we're not calling you out because we do this.
We do, but we also get to a point where we shut it down and don't even keep our phones on us.
Well, we've been doing that more often, but I guess what I'm saying is we're not calling people out. Like, we are victims of doing this. Like,
no, that's why we're talking about it.
Yeah, no, I just don't want anyone to think, oh, they're above us. No.
What I'm saying is you can't speak kind words if you're not speaking any words.
That's good.
So put it down for a little bit.
Put it down.
Let's be real that Instagram and Facebook's algorithm are just going to give you the same posts 100 different times. So, if you're looking at the same post for the second time, put that thing down.
Can we say, though, that you're probably looking at that stuff for affirmation?
Wow, that's deep.
Mind blown.
No, but that's a good point. And put it down and get affirmation from the other. And the thing is, if it's not natural to you, and a lot of people it might not be.
I think nowadays people find it doesn't seem natural, which is so sad, but it's the reality of the society we live in.
But you've got to attempt it, and if it feels weird at first, so what? Force it. Not in a weird way, but push yourself out of your comfort zone. Sit down, say something positive. The law of reciprocity will come back to you. If you keep affirming somebody else, they are going to start affirming you.
And they're going to affirm themselves. Say you're talking to your wife, right? And this is a perfect example, okay? I speak openly about it. I suffer from depression. I am working through it, and that's a whole nother topic. But when I'm having the moments of being completely down on myself, I will say that Ryan is so good at giving me words of affirmation. He's constantly picking me up. But aside from just affirmation, he also speaks caring words to me. Tell me why you're feeling this way. What do you think is causing it? Why don't we take some time to talk about it? The fact that he is diligently trying to listen, it means just as much as the affirming words that he's saying to lift me up. So I think all of these words they're like Legos. You're just stacking these Legos on top of each other. So when you're being respectful to one another, and you're feeding in these words of affirmation, but then you're also taking time to be caring of the other person. I truly don't believe anything bad can come of that.
And you're right. These steps work together. You kind of cannot have one and pick or choose which ones you want. There's some that people need to focus on maybe a little bit more than the other, but if you're not respectful, you're not going to be affirming. If you're not affirming, you're not going to be caring. So it almost follows itself where you've got to have the respect for the other person. You have to genuinely care about them. And then because you care about them, you're going to affirm them, lift them up, make them feel good about themselves. And by doing that, it's going to show that your words that you're saying means you care.
Or that they're valid, that they hold some substance, that you're not just talking. It kind of goes back to episode 5, pardon me, when we were talking about how, when you hide behind a computer screen, you don't hear the tone. You don't really know if that person's like, when they say, "Oh, Trish, I love your outfit, so cute," right? You're assuming that's what it sounds like, but you don't really know. Whereas if you're in front of your girlfriend and she's like giving you a hug, she's like, "Oh my God, you look so beautiful." Like, you can hear it. You can sense that she cares about you, that she's lifting you up. That's how it is with your spouse. You know what I'm saying? Like, if all of those are coming together and you're taking that time to be in the moment with one another, it's building that foundation. And once you build a foundation that's solid, then building on it, you're not afraid of any winds or storms that are going to come crashing because, it's not moving.
No, you're exactly right. And so you got to work as a team, and it goes back to it. And make sure that you try. Really, you got to try. If you don't try, you get stale, and the relationship gets stale. As long as you're trying, you will learn how to speak to the other person.
It kind of reminds me of that when people are like, "Oh, I didn't win the lottery today. The lottery." And they're like, "What, did you buy a ticket?" "Well, no." "Okay, well then no shit, you didn't win the lottery. You didn't even try." It's like, "Oh, my marriage sucks so bad right now." It's like, okay, well, are you talking kindly to one another? Do you respect your wife? Are you caring for your husband's needs and the things that he's saying? No? Okay, well, then I have no clue why your marriage isn't doing so hot right now. That's kind of blunt, but that's the way I look at it.
No, you hit the nail right on the head.
Oh. Are you going to do one of your, fun transitions?
It's time!
Dun, dun, dun!
For the Youth Slang Challenge.
Am I gonna do you? Don't do it.
You're definitely going to do me. But the camera's got to be... Oh, well, the camera can be on. It just can't go on YouTube.
Here's the one thing, folks. When you know that your parents might be listening and you know you're a grown adult, you still revert back to, that 18-year-old self where you're like, "Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed."
Now, let me ask you. Do you think the parents care that much when you've got 4 children?
No, it's still awkward when you say stuff like that.
As long as we're not doing it in front of them, then it's
okay,
really
we're done. We're going to
Youth
Slang. Youth Slang!
Boom!
Okay. When I say these, I just picture Kylie sitting here with us having a chat.
We can pretend she's here.
Okay, let's pretend. Okay. So some of these I'm sure you've heard, but they're fun, so we're going to do it.
So we did the Youth Slang Challenge in our very first episode. Do you remember that?
I do. I remember Icy.
Yeah, Christina took on the Youth Slang Challenge in episode 1. It was our very first podcast. We've come a long way since then. And go check it out.
You can hear my voice now. That's how far we've come.
Go check it out if you haven't heard. Episode 1, Christina takes on the Youth Slang Challenge. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to flip that. We're going to flip the script.
That might be Youth Slang too.
And I'm going to take it on. And,
make yourself feel good that you won since I won last week.
I'm a white boy with some soul.
Yeah, you are.
So I might be able to get some of these. We'll find out.
I think you might. Okay, so here's the first one. Take that L.
Take that loss. Take that loss. If you're taking that L, you're taking that loss. Taking one for the team. You know
what's funny is, 1, that you're right. Ding, ding, ding.
Ding!
But 2, that I was like, oh, it's a drug.
Well, if we're going to go deeper into Youth Slang, there's something called hitting the L, which that would be the marijuana.
Oh, is it?
Yes. They call
Why
it
L?
Because it's the L, like smoking an L.
You know that makes absolutely no sense.
Well,
like the I would get.
Look, I could get into it, but we would go off into a whole nother subject.
Okay.
Let's go with the next one.
How about sus?
Sus?
Yeah.
Use it in a sentence.
I'm not surprised he lied to you. I told you he was sus.
Suspect. That mother effer is suspect.
Yeah. Okay, it's kind of scary that you know these.
Ding, 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 ding. 2 for 2.
Okay, woke.
Woke. I think I know this, but go ahead and use it in a sentence.
All right, so I'm trying to think of how to use it in a sentence. I can't because I don't talk like that, so I can't.
That's even the best part. Read the sentence.
There's not one here. It just says, if you're woke, it means you're smart. You pay attention.
Yeah.
I was woke in math?
Yeah, you was woke, yo.
Why do you feel like you need to do that with your arms and your face?
Look, she's got jokes.
First off, I know you can only hear us, but if you watch the YouTube video, if you watch the YouTube videos, like Ryan gets all like, "Yo," like his face does this, his hands.
I can turn my hat sideways.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going.
Okay, this one is V, like the letter V. Give me
Use it in
some.
a sentence.
I'm V good.
Very good.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say
Because the word
up,
very
two down.
is so long
Yeah,
that we should shorten it by 3 letters.
That one I'm gonna say is pretty dumb.
I can't with that. Sorry.
Hey, that's that text language that people are talking now.
People are like, why do you look so ignorant? It's like, well, because that.
Did you know that? Quick interlude.
Drop some knowledge, Ryan.
I heard today that there are a group of individuals in the state of Michigan suing the state of Michigan because they did not provide them the opportunity to be intelligent.
That's a real thing?
Oh, yes.
What is the basis of that?
I just heard it on the radio when I was coming in today, and it said that a group of Michigan students are suing the state of Michigan because Michigan did not provide them the opportunity to become literate.
So you couldn't even Google how to be smart? You're laughing, but that's how ridiculous that is. Like, you can even, God forbid you pay attention in class, just Google it.
I put it on I tweeted that on the no filter tweet thing. Did
you laugh while you did it?
I did. I had to stop. I was honestly kind of shocked. I thought it was fake news, but it was on NPR, the National Public Radio. And yeah.
People are ignorant.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Okay, I think I have one more. Clapback.
Clapback.
Yeah.
Clapback, if we're going to get...
No, it's not a genital disease.
No, I was not even going to go there. Clapback means retaliation. I was 5 for 5 on that one.
I know. Clearly we know that I need to be brushing up on my slang.
Yeah.
So I can teach my children how to be ignorant.
Oh, my God. And the Youth Slang Challenge is over.
I really can't look at you seriously when you do that. Like, I think you want to be a radio, not talk show. What are the game show hosts?
Victory Ryan.
He looked dead in the camera. All right, we're coming back. We're coming back to the chit chat.
We're gonna clap back at you.
Oh wow. Okay.
You said genital disease. What in the girl? You need to listen to some more.
To what? Rap?
I mean, listen to some reggae. Something.
To know what clapback is.
Look, Taylor Swift obviously isn't doing it.
What? Okay, we're done. We're done. Okay, we're gonna go to number 4 on 5 powerful words for your marriage.
All right, number 4, encouraging words. The founder of Chick-fil-A once asked me, Mark, how do you know if someone needs encouragement? I said, I don't know, Truett. How? He responded, if they are breathing. Everyone needs to hear words of encouragement, especially our wives. So let's encourage them to press on when they are down. Let's inspire them with our words.
That's good. I love that. How do you know if someone needs encouragement if they are breathing? So Don't ever say that you don't know, you couldn't tell. If somebody was walking past you or if you were having a conversation, you could speak life into somebody by saying something encouraging.
Yeah, and this is going to touch my spiritual side for a minute.
Do it. Bring it to Jesus.
So one of the biggest things I really wanted to learn this year, I made a goal this year in December of reading the Bible cover to cover. And I've been doing it. I am ahead of where I should be, and I have learned a ton. And one of the main things I figured that I wanted to learn halfway through was how to hear God more. And how do I know if they're speaking to me? How do I know if it's Him? How do I know if it's real? How do I know if I should take those words that I'm hearing and tell them to somebody else? And you personally kind of have to find that out on your own. But if you get a feeling inside your throat, if your hairs are tingling,
that feeling
there you go,
inside my bones.
It's always back to trolls.
It goes electric, baby, when I turn it on.
Yeah. But if you're, those hairs are tingling on the back of your neck, your arms.
You get that pit in your stomach.
Yeah, that's God. And a lot of times He's letting you know something that either
you may not even know.
That is about you, that is about somebody else. But if you get that feeling and there's somebody around you and you're like, I should say this to him. I should say something. And usually it's always positive. And that's the way to tell if it's God or not. If it's not positive and it's not encouraging, it's not God. And that's how you double check it to see if it is God. But if it is God and they're telling you that something that is
Stop
positive.
saying they. He. If He is telling you.
If He is telling you, then, you're right. But if He is telling you, then you'll know it and you can check it to make sure it's positive, and then you relay those words. Don't be scared of relaying that message to somebody if you get that message.
So can I bring it like real deep?
Sure.
Okay, so 2 examples, because sometimes I feel like when you bring it back to a real life situation, people will go, oh, okay. I was driving in my car one night, and I got this, like Brian was saying, where it was just this overwhelming feeling to text one of my girlfriends. And I'm like, no, it's fine. Like, she's probably doing something. I'll text later. Because I won't text when I'm driving, but if I'm at a stop sign, I'll pull my phone up. So I was like, no, I'll wait till I get where I'm going. And something kept saying, no, like, she needs to hear from you. So picked up my phone, voice to text, hey girl, I miss you. You're on my heart. I'm thinking about you. And within 2 minutes, she wrote me back and said, oh my God, I was just having the worst moment of my life, and I prayed to God, I wish somebody could just hear me. I feel so alone. Like, are you kidding me? Like, yeah, I can't tell you. People always say, like, how do you know? That's how I know there's a God. Like, that's not by me. I'm not just spiritually speaking to her heart. So I don't mean to bring it on a whole faith thing, but you know what? Faith's a big part of our life, so it's going to be in these talks. It's going to be in our marriage, and that's the way to act out. A way to bring it back to marriage. Ryan was laying in bed, 3 a.m. He gets a what would you say it? Like a moment, right? Of clarity. God says, lean over to your wife, touch her temples, and pray for her. And he's like, this is so weird. Like, I can't do that. And so the next day he gets up and he tells me, and I said, are you serious? I said, I've been having pain in the right side of my head, right near my temples. Like, why didn't you pray for me? And he said, I don't know, I was just so scared. And so I know that this is talking about encouraging words, and that's talking about how God was telling him to pray. But I think that when you have it on your heart to tell somebody something, whether it's about something in your faith or something that's just genuinely on your heart, like I will walk up to women out of nowhere. And so if I've ever done this to you, like, I'm not a weirdo, but if I think you are beautiful or I think you have the most stunning eyes, I will walk straight up to you and tell you that. And
married men, don't do that. Do not do what she just said. That will not encourage any part of your marriage.
But no, I think that, well, women especially, I agree. Men need to hear encouraging words. But there's something about women that I think, I don't know what it is, but if you walk up to women and you tell them, man, your hair looks amazing today, or, oh my God, what perfume you're wearing, you smell so good. in all of the clutter and chaos of their day that they might be having, to have one person walk up and say something so encouraging and so inspiring to them can change their whole day.
I completely agree with you. And you don't know if your words are going to be the one that changes somebody's day. That's not really your place to know that.
Yeah.
But don't hold that in, because if there's something like that that needs to come out, it's not going to hurt somebody's day. So why not be the message to make somebody's day?
I think sometimes too, like, I will find myself, I would just randomly like, I want to text Ryan and tell him like, hey babe, I'm really proud of you for, I don't know, something that he's doing in real estate. And I'm like, he's going to think I'm such a dork for saying this to him. But in reality, I don't think anyone's going to turn down something encouraging that somebody's saying to them. Like, who does that?
No. And, I got to thinking, you come to a point in your 30s where you start evaluating friendships. And I know that some of the friends that I have, the ones that they are the closest friends to me, always have a genuine concern about me and my life, and are always asking and wanting to see what's going on, and not necessarily always talking about themselves. So you've got to have a genuine need and concern for others. It's got to be real, and the more that you give that, the more you will get that.
So bringing it back to marriage, I think that encouraging words, right? If we are going back to the Lego analogy, like, to encourage somebody, you have to care about them.
Yep.
To care about them, you have to respect them. And it's all based around words of affirmation.
All right, give us our last one. Give us number 5.
So the final word or words are appreciative words. Finally, it's important to speak words of appreciation to your husband or wife. No one wants to feel taken for granted. Keep your eyes open for ways to express appreciation to him or her, like, thank you for how hard you work, or I'm so grateful for your help on that project. These are types of words that will uplift and show your appreciation to your spouse.
So I think a lot of this runs together. And I think what all of these 5 words or 5 tips are saying is be a good person and don't be selfish.
That's it. Don't be a selfish person. Don't be a nutsack.
I mean, don't be a nutsack?
I thought about it.
Don't be a nutsack.
So here's my, okay.
Hey, tweet that. Don't be a nutsack. Hashtag don't be a nutsack.
Hold on, pause. I know we're serious. I went and saw that movie Girls Trip last night, and there's a scene where she's cutting up a sausage with like kitchen shears. I'm sorry. If you haven't seen that movie, please go see it. It's hilarious, but that's where the word nutsack came from.
Oh my God.
Look, you say weird things all the time.
I know, but I've never gone to the point of saying don't be a nutsack.
It'll be trending, trust me.
I don't even know if I should edit that out or
Please
not.
don't.
My God.
Save
right.
the nutsack.
So one of the cool things about this book, and I write a lot of notes in my books. I highlight, I underline, and you might be able to see it. I'm holding it up to the camera on YouTube. But
again, if you don't remember, these books are called List to Love By for busy wives and busy husbands. They are by Mark and Susan Merrill, and we will link them in the show notes.
So one of the things it says is taking the next step. So we've given you 5 steps. Cool. When you heard us, wow, great, Ryan, I heard what you had to say, but it doesn't mean anything if you don't do something about it.
Application is everything.
100%. So one of the first things it says is list in the order the 2 types of words that are most important to your wife. Then ask your wife which ones are most important to her and compare your answers. Did you write my answers down in your book?
I wrote...
Hold on, I know you got mine, but do you have the ones that...
I wrote mine, and then it says your husband's, and I think these are the ones you did.
Okay, cool. So I don't think you have mine, and I don't have yours. All right, so out of those 5, you tell me what the number 1 thing was for you. And I'll tell you what I thought you were going to say.
Mine were...
No, you tell me out of these 5, which ones you care about the most. Oh, okay.
For myself. What I want to hear.
Yes.
Yes, were respect and affirming words.
You did write it down.
I know I did. I told you I did. I don't want to lie to you.
All right. And on mine, I wrote appreciative and affirming. So I was right on Christina's second one. I thought she would choose affirming, and I didn't think she would choose respect. I thought she would choose appreciative, because in our marriage, and when we did these in January, I thought during that time, me being appreciative of all the hard work she does for the family, around the house, for the kids, would be more important to her. And again, that's what I thought, and I was wrong. And really the number one thing for her was respect. For me to respect what she was doing, to respect her with my words, respect her with my actions, respect her time, respect her, peace and quiet. And when I realized, holy crap, this isn't the right one, I'm not choosing the right one, that could be a reason why we're getting in tiffs or arguments.
Or why your wife's frustrated.
Yeah, and when I heard that, I'm like, okay, I've been doing the wrong thing this whole time. And I didn't know it, but I wouldn't have known it if I didn't dig into it to figure out why. And now that I know it, what she gets from me is, I respect what you do. I'm thankful for what you do.
I think chiming off of that, it's for a lot of women that are stay-at-home moms, and I'm just speaking to that section because I'm part of it. When we stay at home, we feel like we constantly have to show that our time is worthy of respect. I do 15 loads of laundry, I clean all the dishes, I cook 3 meals, my kids are alive, and I might put on makeup and an outfit to show my husband that I'm not, some troll living in the stairs. So for us...
The burgers are coming!
So my point is respect. Ryan didn't realize that I wanted to feel respect in the role in the family. I know that I stay home with the kids, but I want you to respect that this is a job, and respect that I also need time to myself. I also need to feel like some of the decisions that I'm making are building a future for our family. And not that he didn't, but I don't think he put enough emphasis on the respect. He was just trying to be appreciative. Thank you for cooking. You look beautiful today. I really love all of these other steps, right? He's encouraging me. God, you're such a good mom. I know you're having a bad day, but tomorrow will be better. He's affirming me. I love you more than anything. I think you're so beautiful. But it wasn't on purpose, but I felt that the respect of, wow, babe, like, I know you don't go to work every day, but the fact that you stay home with our kids, it's a huge deal because it allows me to go out of the house and it allows me to make the money to pay the bills. And I think that sometimes is what husbands don't realize, and it's not a bad thing. They just sometimes speak a different language, and that's why we'll talk about the 5 love languages next time, because you just kind of have to get on the same wavelength as your spouse.
Most definitely. Most definitely. And I think the key here is figuring out which ones are important to your spouse.
I think they're all important, but...
There are. But there's some that are going to be more important.
They hit home, yeah, I agree.
And for me to tell the guys out there, you need to do all 5.
That's hard.
It's going to be hard. You're not going to be able to live up to that. And I want to give some real life-changing advice. So to me, if I could tell the guys, find the 2. Find the 2 that are important to your wife. Ask her. She'll be stoked that you take that initiative to say, hey, babe, I heard this guy, Ryan, him and his wife are nuts. She talks about nutsacks, and he's kind of gangster or whatever.
Thinks he is.
But I heard that they were talking about these 5 marriage steps, and,
it would mean a lot to me to know which one.
Yeah, which ones are you? And she will probably start crying.
Yeah.
That you care that much. And if you take that time to figure out those 2 and you just work for 10 minutes a day on those 2, your marriage will change 100%.
Well, I mean, think about it. Because I think everyone wants to think about it in a time thing, right? Well, it doesn't cost any money for words. Those are free, right? And it doesn't take very long. When your wife walks downstairs in the morning and she's drinking a cup of coffee, you just look at her and you're like, you couldn't be more beautiful no matter what you did right now. Like, I kid you not, from a woman's point of view, if you said that to me, I'd probably hump your leg in the kitchen.
Okay. So I just learned something from this episode. And with that, we're going to wrap this show up, guys.
So that is the 5 powerful words for your marriage. We are putting it out there that just try 2. You don't have to try to be, what is that, an overachiever, right? We all know that it takes a lot to build on something that might be a little shaky, and you don't lay all the cement down at once. Sometimes you might have to build a foundation little by little, like stack those Legos up, right? And start with 1, and then you'll have a tower, and that tower will be tall and strong and fun. But just take a few at a time.
Kind of like Johnny Abs. Johnny Six-Pack.
Look, you can't change his name.
Yeah, I meant Johnny Six-Pack.
Watch out there.
All right, guys, episode 6 is a wrap.
It's been real. In the comments, check these books out. List to Love By for busy wives and busy husbands. Thank you so much for joining us. We love y'all.
Thanks, guys.
Peace. We're here. And I don't know if you can hear my stomach rumbling, but Ryan's gonna need to get me a burger from Burger King.
She's going to have to hump my leg first, though.
He's gonna have to tell me I'm pretty without makeup.
You're pretty without makeup.
And I won't cut his nutsack off. That's what we learned.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it.
Bye, y'all. Nah, nah, nah.